السلام عليكم، كيفكم؟ إن شاء الله تكونوا بخير. Herkese selam, umarım iyisinizdir. Salut, il fait beau aujourd'hui. 안녕하세요, 잘 지내? Hi everyone, this is Rahaf from lifechangerplan.com. It is fun to speak few languages, right? And it's easy too. So that's why I'm here today to teach you how to learn a language less than 6 months. So if you are interested in this subject, continue watching this video. Alright, let's first ask the question, why we should learn a language? Well, actually learning a language is very important these days, like especially in this technology age that we are living in, like social media that really made the world much closer to each other these days. In addition to the business owners who are opening businesses in all over the world and hiring people from everywhere. So people now are able to work online in other countries. But in able to do that, you have to speak at least one language beside your mother tongue language. And so here are the steps that work like magic to help you learn any language in less than 6 months and become fluent at it. So let's get started. First things first, you need to have a desire. Like everything in life starts with a desire. Let's agree on that first. You need to have a reason to learn a language. Whether you want to learn it to study abroad, or traveling, or for work, or maybe just because you love it and you want to speak with it. Now, why is it important to have a desire? Well, because it will make the learning process much more easier and faster. Plus, you are going to enjoy it a lot. Having a desire will keep pushing you forward to learn more and will make you enjoy doing that no matter how much time it will take. Now, number 2 is listening. And this is a very, very important step to learn any language you want. And it is to listen to the language at least 6 months before you actually learn the language. Like, don't start with any grammar right away. Why you do that? Because you want to make your ears and brain adapt to the new language. And please don't skip this step because it is really gonna make it easier and faster for you to learn a language. Not just that, it will also make you speak like a native speaker. And what I mean by listening is to listen with paying high attention to the words and letters you are listening to. This will help you later when you start learning the grammar and the words and the vocabs, so you will be able to memorize them faster. Because you are going to come across words you are already familiar with while you will listening to the language and the way native speakers speak. Not to mention that this will help you also with your pronunciation. Now, the best way to do that or to listen to the language that you are going to learn is by listening to books on different subjects. This will help you a lot to improve your speaking and listening skills. And I recommend you go to Audible and find books on subjects you love. And I'm gonna leave you the link to Audible in the description box. Now, number 3, start learning the grammars. Now, after you have been listening to the language and paying attention to the words and the letters, now it's time to learn the grammars. And because you have been listening to the language before, you're gonna be familiar with the grammars. Maybe you won't know how to use it and how it is formed, but at least you're gonna be familiar with it because you have been listening to the language for 6 months, hopefully. So, and my advice here, don't start to learn the grammars randomly, but rather start with simple and end up with hard. Because, first when you see the grammars, you're gonna be overwhelmed and you'll think that it is hard to learn. But when you start gradually from the simplest to the hardest grammar, you will be learning and using them without even knowing. It happens naturally. And if you are learning English, I recommend 3 books for you to study the grammars. You're gonna find all the links in the description box. Now let's move to number 4. Apply what you learned in conversations. So start applying everything you learn in small conversations with yourself or family or friends, and don't wait to finish studying the grammars to start making conversations. Because actually if you do that, you're gonna forget what you learned after a while. See, after finishing studying every grammar, you go and make a sentence or a small conversation and start using that grammar. And don't stop doing that until the grammar is fixed in your head. Believe me, after a while you're gonna find yourself speaking the language fluently. And don't forget that practice makes perfect. And here actually I'm gonna talk about a website to learn languages. it is Ripe website, and I personally love it because it is a very flexible website. You can go there and learn any language you want, and you can choose your own teacher, and you can also choose your own schedule. Can you believe that? Like, you can choose the time that you are ready to take the lesson. Like, if you have a business, if you are working, if you have kids, and you can choose the perfect time for you to study. So you can learn from anywhere and whenever you want. So you basically choose your own style of learning. And the good thing about it is that you can talk to the teacher privately. So you can go private and ask your teacher whatever the questions that you have in your head about the language that you are learning. And this is a very good way to practice your language. So you can open conversations with them, you can talk to them, and even ask them if you are making any mistakes while speaking. And they offer a free trial if you want to go there and try it. And also they have very decent prices. So you can take a free first lesson and see if you like it. And I'm gonna leave you the link of Ripe website in the description box. Go there and click on it, and you can go directly to their website and check them out. I highly recommend it because it is the perfect way to practice your language. Now, number 5, listen to a podcast or watch a movie. Now that you learned the grammars and some vocabs and words, so now you're ready to listen to your favorite podcast or movie to practice speaking like a native speaker. And if it's your favorite movie or podcast, it's gonna be better because you will pay attention to it without any effort. So you're gonna listen to the way local people speak. And this helps a lot with your pronunciation. And of course will make it easier for you to speak and learn the language. So basically what you need to do when you are listening is to pay attention to the grammars you have already learned and try to figure out what was used and when and how it was pronounced. Now, number 6 is to imitate characters you love to master the pronunciation. Now, this is a fun part. Now, try to find your favorite character in a movie or a show maybe, and try to say what they are saying and imitate the way they are saying it. So this will help you find out the way a certain word is pronounced and how and when to use it. Eventually, you'll find yourself speaking just like a local, or you might be a second version of your favorite character. Who knows? Just kidding, be you. Alright, let's move to number 7. Think in the language you are learning. Now, how to do that? This might seem weird, but it's not, because we all do that. So, make the conversation you normally have with yourself in your head in the language you are learning. This way works like magic. By doing so, you will adapt yourself to the language perfectly, and you will start to feel like a native speaker. It will become natural for you to speak this language. Now, number 8 is reading. So you can read books, articles, magazines, kids' stories, and always start with simple stories first. Reading is so important, and it will introduce you to new vocabularies all the time, which will make you understand the language more, and it will help you to express what you want to say better. And if you are a person who are moving a lot and you can't carry a book wherever you go, then you should use Kindle. It is the best device ever. You can read all the books you want in just one device. You know, instead of carrying so many books while you're traveling or when you go out, you simply can read whenever and wherever you want. And I'll leave you the link of Kindle in the description box. Go and check it out. Now, number 9, listen to kids' songs or watch kids' shows. Kids' shows and songs are so clear and easy for kids to understand. Plus, they are made to teach kids how to speak, write, or read a certain language correctly. I find it very beneficial for beginners who want to learn a language. And you can use this as an excuse to remember your childhood days. Number 10. Practice speaking with a native speaker. You can try to speak to native speakers either by living in a country that speaks the language you are learning or by participating in language clubs. So you can practice speaking with the groups in that club who are also learning the same language. You can also make some friends online. So practicing the language with native speakers is the easiest way to learn a language. And actually the most powerful way is to go abroad to learn the language. So you register with language schools in the country that speaks the same language that you are learning. And by going there, you are gonna learn the language in the school. And after the school, you are gonna go out and practice your language with native speakers, like in the streets, in the mall, your neighbors maybe. It is really the easiest and the most powerful way to learn any language you want, because you are gonna learn it and practice it immediately and from the right resource. And here I want to talk about an amazing website. It is LinguaTrip This website helps you book your trip, and their prices are lower than booking with schools directly. Isn't that amazing? Schools provide discounts of up to 30% to their students. They also do not charge commissions or additional fees. And they also offer online courses on Skype. And they have consulting services for higher education. All the links are going to be in the description box. Go there and click on the link and you can learn more about it. So now let's move to number 11. Practice the language daily. Like, use the language you are learning in your daily routine. Let's say write in your notes in this language, or switch your phone or computer language to the one you are learning. You can also start calling things around you in this language. Just go with the quote: when you don't use it, you lose it. Now the last thing is enjoy the process and be patient. Just don't consider it a must-do homework. So enjoy learning the language if you really love it and you want to speak with it. That's why the first thing I mentioned is to have a desire, or else you would be learning the hard way. So you don't want to do that. So instead, enjoy the process, because this is going to make it much easier for you. And be patient, because everything in life takes time. But eventually, you will master it. Alright guys, so those were the steps that helped me personally to learn languages, and I promise if you follow them, you are gonna learn any language you want and master it. Alright, before we end up this video, if you are learning any language right now, can you tell me in the comments below which language you are learning and why? Alright guys, that's it. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.